Hey y'all, we're gonna do some more commentary on that case that we just posted. The woman heated up her home and her baby passed away. All right. So the husband's in the background. He's gonna also help as
Hey
well.
guys, what's going on?
So make sure you guys thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and also cut your notifications on, your notification bell on, so you'll be notified. And yes, I'll be eating during this video. And if you don't like eating, oh wow. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. All right, what do you think about that?
Okay.
Let me tell you so you'll understand.
Okay.
She's 30 years old. Her house, the apartment, the heat was not working, so she felt the need to cut her oven on. She had the baby and a whole bunch of clothes in a car seat. Apparently, she passed out or was sleeping so bad that she didn't even know the baby was overheated.
Well, first of all, I think the whole situation is unfortunate. I think there's so many things involved, and it just ended up to this situation, the end result. I feel like the apartment complex should have had heat. Isn't it something where an apartment complex or a building is supposed to have heat? Like, isn't it like a serious thing to have heat? Right? So that situation right there should have never happened. Right? The heat should have never been turned off. Was that the utility company's fault? Or is that just the apartment complex? They didn't have their system running. Alright, so that's another thing. I think that's at fault. I also feel like it's the mother, unfortunately. She has a lot to do with it. Because of her substance abuse. I feel like she just passed out. I think the goal was for her to keep her and her child warm, but because of her abuse, her substance abuse, she passed out, and unfortunately the child couldn't survive the night.
Okay, so the baby was 2 months old. And when the baby was born, the baby was addicted to substances. Sorry, y'all. Look, the baby was born with substances in its system and had to go to the NICU for 3 weeks, which is darn near a month. Mind you, the baby passed away at 2 months. The baby didn't have a chance. But then when the baby gets better, they send her back home. What do you think about that?
I feel like that situation right there should have never happened. I feel like there should be things in place or steps in place to handle situations like that. I feel like she should never have been released to the mother, the child.
First and foremost, what can be done in 2 weeks? You can't get, I don't think you can get clean in 3 weeks. Was she in rehab? Like,
there was so many lenience.
Very lenient.
Yeah. Like the mother not responding to the people handling the case should not have been accepted. There's so many ways where this is slipped through the cracks. I can start down from the top to the bottom. So many things happen for this to happen. There's so many chances. It's unfortunate.
And
it's tough for me to talk about
it. So you got the hospital, then you have CPS, which I guess they're saying that they weren't able to apprehend her or take the baby. How does a person reject CPS from taking the child? How does that even?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. There was too much leniency going on.
Said she didn't answer the phone, was not compliant. They couldn't arrest the mother for being not compliant with state authority.
That's exactly what I mean.
I just feel like
the hospital should never release the child.
Yeah. I mean,
and then the authorities were too lax in their enforcement.
Once it is determined that a mother is on substances, then it should be deemed that she is not fit. Oh, I had to take that makeup off. But anyway, once the hospital realized that the mother, was on substances, she misused substances, she should have been deemed not fit to take the baby home. And so I feel like once the parent, even though I get it, if you having a baby, you need to be responsible for the baby. The government and the state and these child protectors, they don't raise the baby. They don't have time to take your children, right? They don't. I get that. Mm-hmm. But once she came to the hospital, she had a baby. They found that the baby had substances. Shouldn't her parenting rights be revoked?
I think once the child is found with substance in its system, mm-hmm. that is proof that there's an issue. And I feel like if there are two parents involved, right, that at least one I believe that, yes, I believe so. I believe that if the mother...
What do you believe? I don't remember the question.
Okay. I mean, this is crazy. It's hard for me to talk about this. Like if it's found
that... Do you feel that her rights should have been revoked? Yes or no? Even if it was temporary?
Yes. At least temporarily revoked. Yeah. And then she, at that point, she would have to prove herself to be sober. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And then, okay, if there's another parent involved, mm-hmm. then maybe the rights could go to the other parent to keep the child out of the system. Mm-hmm. Right? But then that parent would have to be tested also.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, the child was sent home too soon.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
They, obviously they did not check the house to make sure. Now,
the child was in. I'm sorry to cut you off. The child was in the right place in the hospital. Mm-hmm. How was the child ever released? Once the child is in the hospital,
this is a tough time. They don't have time to take children. The system is full of children. Mm-hmm. They cannot place these children. So the best place they want them to be home with their parent.
So you mean at some point the hospital agreed and said, okay, this child is okay to be released to the mother?
Who knows? Yeah, they decided to release the child. Yeah. And within, I guess, a month after that, mm-hmm. the child is gone. So little Eden, baby Eden, didn't have a chance to really live because her mother was not fit. Okay, so that's that story, and let's talk about just the theme of what's happening here. What's the verdict of what I think? What I think about this situation is I blame the state. I blame the hospital. I blame CPS. I blame everybody in there. Why? Because once you are deemed not to be a parent or you have substances throughout your system, we all know that those type of people are not able to take care of themselves. Is it much less that, they're not able to take care of themselves, so how are they able to take care of a baby? Exactly. Even if the baby comes from, they don't care because they're number one, they want to get that next situation going. Their number one is about basically getting to the next high. There's no other way I could say.
Yeah.
they have so many mental issues that come with that substance. They hallucinate. They anger issues. They don't process well if they're not well, and they know that. You think the health people don't understand that once you start using those things, different mental issues come in.
Exactly.
So they had no business doing that, and I feel like it's they caused that as well.
They did. All right. So this is the start. Okay. First, they found the child had something in his system. That's the first point. Right. At that point, something could have happened.
This could have. Thank you. This could have been avoided.
Completely avoided
had they just kept the child in the situation. And like I said in my official video when I posted this, I said one thing. I hate to say, but people love babies. They may not be as quick to adopt or to, they have temporary placement. They may not be able to or feel like they can do a 3 or 4 or 5-year-old, but a baby, a 2-month-old that barely knows that it's in the world, it would have been no problem for them to place that child somewhere.
There would not.
So they didn't. In my opinion, they didn't even try. Okay.
All right. So it looks like the hospital did release the child to the mother with the condition that she would be under supervision from the authorities. Right?
Okay. I didn't consider that. Okay. Oh, by the way, they said the child wasn't supposed to be alone with her. So how is she not supposed to be alone with her? But she lives alone with the child.
Who's going to survive? Who's going to supervise?
To be honest, I think a lot of these records were written after the fact. They can. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that, but it is what it is. I think this was written after the fact. Because they can do whatever the heck they want with papers and records. We know that.
You know what? I feel like the hospital said this. This is what happened. Okay. We don't have to go there. This is what happened. The hospital said, okay, there is substance in the child system. All right. It's been documented. All right. Authorities have to be involved. CPS. Right. CPS has to be involved. At that point, the hospital said they wiped their hands of it, and now it's off to the authorities. Then at that point, it's the CPS's job to keep track of the situation. But I feel like more check places should have been put in line. I feel like the moment that substance has been found in the child's system, then the mother has to go through screening for at least a week or 2 to make sure that she's clean. And then at that point, the child can be released into the mother. But the hospital is in a holding place, right? So at that point, CPS would have to be involved. So at that point, the child should be in the custody of CPS and then returned to the mother after she passes the drug test or the substance test. I believe that's how it should go. That's not what happened.
That's not what happened. Yeah. So, in a normal situation with this story, we would just say the mother. But it's so many other variables in the situation that we see that if this was done, this, like we could say if the mother did this, but the mother was already on substances, so her mind's not right. We're going to bring it back to the legal part, the state. Had the state done their job, CPS done their job, hospital done their job, then baby Eden could possibly still be here and be with a better suited family until her mother would have gotten clean. Now her mother is in jail waiting to be sentenced for something that could have been avoided. Guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching.